What is going on, everybody? My name is Eton and welcome guys to another video here of Marvel Contest of Champions. Now as you can see, this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be another one of my guides here for the channel, and today's guide is going to be how to get the infinite streak in the 4-star arena. Now there are a lot of, sort of examples and techniques that people use in order to get the infinite streak. And trust me, when you get to that infinite streak, it is golden. It is proper golden. It's really nice to be able to get to that streak, and you can just cruise through with just 4 stars and 3 stars, so long as the PI is above about 4,500. But I'm going to tell you my strategy right now. And my strategy for the 4-star infinite arena 4-star infinite streak in the arena is for matches 1 till 6. I sort of use, as you can see in the video, about I've sort of sped up a little bit just to decrease the size, because I think the video was like an hour long, so I just recorded straight through it. But as you can see, for matches 1 to 6, I use champions that were sort of in my middle range of my 3 stars. I left my bottom 6 because I will be using those for sandbagging, and we'll get to that when we reach matches 6 to 12. 7 to 12, my bad. So after the bottom 6, I then use them champions, and their PI ranges from about 600 to 700. And I think you can pretty much use any champion you want. You don't have to use them. I'm pretty sure you can use any champions that you want. However, I prefer to use their middle ones, because then it leaves the bottom half for sandbagging, and then the top half, my 4 stars and my 3 stars, for when we get later into the streak. So for matches 1 to 6, I use those average champions, and as I said, they range their PIs for about 600 to 700. And the matches are fairly simple. They're not too hard. They're all easy. You might get one medium, but at the end of the day, they're not going to be too challenging enough, and it should be okay. You know, a brisk sort of flow just to get straight through to that round, match 7. But as you can see here, I am just, cruising through it, no problem. And the matches that we got at the moment, they are against other users, so they're not the Thanos and Kang matches. So you do have to be careful, because other users might have parry, they might have willpower. Don't know why they would, but they might do. They'll have evade. They could have some other, the new masteries like assassin and what's the other one? The bleed one. I forgot what the bleed one is. But yeah, so you do need to be careful. You need to watch out for them. And just bear in mind that they might have some sort of little mastery setup going on there. It's always useful just to check the player's profile, and you get a sort of good indicator as to what level they are, as to what masteries they'll have. If they're a lower level, then they might just have the basic masteries like parry and evade, and if they're a little bit higher, then they might have the whole shebang. So it's just something, just to that's a little small tip when you're in arena, is just to carefully look if you want, or if you don't feel too great about the match, have a look at the opponent, have a look at their profile, see what level they are, what their top champs are, and it'll give you a rough idea of hopefully what their masteries are like. So once you're done with match 6, I believe this might be match 6 coming up right now, you will go, I'll explain the terms of sandbagging before hopefully the match starts. But once you've done them matches, you then go on to using sandbagging. And what sandbagging eventually is using 2 higher rated champions. The ones that I've got that I use are roughly about 1,300 to 1,400 PI. And then you use a really low champion, which is why I saved my bottom 6 3 stars. And the PI of that is normally about 400, 500. And the average of the PI for that team will be quite low in comparison to using some pretty high champions. So by doing that, you sort of trick the game into giving you some decent teams in order to fight, and eventually you can win. I will say with sandbagging, it will probably be quite hard to get a perfect series in all of those 6 matches. So a really good thing to do is to save some time, and what you can do with the sandbagging technique is by just when you go for the match that you're sandbagging with a champion. Say for example, I've got myself Wolverine, and let's go with the other one that I normally use, Daredevil. They're about 1,400, 1,300 PI. And then say for example I use Spider-Gwen. If I have the match with Spider-Gwen, then chances are, because the opponent's team will probably be averaging out to the PIs of your top 2 rated champions, it will be quite hard to win. So one little tip that I would give is to not waste time on it, to be fair. So long as you're comfortable winning those 2 other matches, and so long as you do win those 2 other matches, otherwise you need to start again from scratch, then what you can do is just quit the fight for that champion that you're sandbagging. You'll see, hopefully, in this video right now, as I demonstrate from the, there you go, demonstrate from the Iron Patriot. I quit straight away. It saves you a little bit of time. You don't have to worry about another match, and if you feel confident about winning the other 2 fights, then it saves you that little bit of time, and you only miss out on what, like 100 battle chips because you didn't get the full perfect fights. So that is one thing right there. But sandbagging is pretty useful. I never really understood the 4-star arena guide, so it's only pretty much recently where I've picked it up. I watched Eton's video actually on how to do the 4-star infinite streak, and that's given me a lot of insight. So if you guys want to check out his channel, I will put a link in the description. He is very useful when it all comes to Marvel Contest of Champions. He's got some good tips, some good guides, and some good gameplay videos of certain champions as well, so it's pretty sweet. And he's darn fucking lucky getting a duped Scarlet Witch at 550, so I'm pretty salty about that. But yeah, we're going through the sandbagging right now. I believe we're on like match 8 or match 9. You're going to want to do this till you're about match 12, or on match 12 is where you break away from sandbagging. So you should, if you do your math right, save your bottom 6 champions for your sandbagging, and once those 6 champions are up and done, then you know it's time to move on to the next stage. And I don't want to talk too fast because I'm watching the video as I'm talking, and I kind of want to make things, what I say, related to what is on the screen at the moment. But I think we're getting kind of near to match 12 anyways. So match 12 through to match 15. Now this is where everything starts to get a little bit different, depending on how far in the game you are, what sort of champions you have, etc. Now, looking around on the internet and all the other guys, etc., matches 12 to 15, they generally follow the structure of using 440s. Because then you've got your Kang teams, I think, or just in case if, they're a little bit harder. However, I don't. If you're like me, and at the stage, I only have 3 440s at the moment. I've got Doctor Strange, Electro, and Captain Marvel, so not a bad 3. I don't think they're a bad 3. So obviously, to save time, and I don't really want to be spending units, because if I'm spending units to automatically refresh them champions, that's 15 units, and I'm doing it about 3 times, so that's easily like, about 45 units right there, which I know at the end of the day is 45 units, but then that's 45 units that could have been spent doing something else. So what I found, and what actually works for me, if I'm patient and I don't try to rush the game, and if I put my full concentration on it, and you'll see it in this video that I'm going to do it as well, is that through matches 12 to 15, instead of using all my 3 440s, I split them up across the 3 matches. So what I do with, say for example, match 12, which I think was what we're going on now. Let's just, what, am I going on match 12 now? Oh no, we've got one more. So I'll quickly talk through it, and then you'll see in the video as to what I do. So for match 12, I'll use my Electro, and then I'll save my Captain Marvel for match 13, and then I'll save my, my Doctor Strange for the match after that. And then what I do with the champions after that, so say for example I've got my top 3, then I've got my second 3, then my third 3, I'll take one of them each. So say for example I'll use my Electro, I'll take one from the second top 3 into that match, and then one from the third top 3. So it evens out sort of the power of the champions for each of those 3 matches. So for me, that actually works really well. I don't have to spend units or wait for the units to refresh. Hopefully now, if you'll see it in the video, I think I'll pause for some strange reason. It was a nightmare to record this. I think the game crashed at one point. I had to cut it, but I think it worked. No, I've still got one more. God damn. So it gives me a little bit of time to talk about it anyway. So, but yeah. So for doing those, splitting the teams up, I found that I don't have to spend the units. I don't have to wait for my 440s to refresh for time. So I found it really, really useful, and I was a little bit apprehensive at first because you do go up against 550s. But at the end of the day, they are the Kang and Thanos teams, and unlike the players of the game, the users like me and you, they will not have certain masteries. So they won't have willpower, they won't have evade, they won't have any critical damage masteries. They won't be using, I think the game probably lagged for me for a second there. They won't be using critical damage ones, they won't be using parry, etc. So you can sort of go into them matches not feeling as nervous, because they are 550, and looking at them you think, oh god, the 550 palms are going to get sweaty right now, But you don't have to worry about it. You see here, I use Electro, I use the Yellow Jacket, and I think I go for the Hulkbuster. Oh no, I go for Rocket Raccoon. So I used one from each level. So that's that demonstrated right there. But as I said, you don't need to worry about them. They are 550s at the end of the day, without, certain masteries. So they're just, pure, no masteries, no sort of other gimmicks towards them. So you should have no problems getting past these 550s. There may be a couple of times where, I don't know, you go up, for example, against the 550 duped Ultron or something like that. And then obviously that's a pain in the bum, and you then just have to parry him every time he tries to... regenerate his health, which is a little bit annoying because when you try to get it and then he just doesn't want to hit you and just blast his special attacks all the time, that doesn't count as the parry. You have to, when he hits the contact, I think you might see it here when I try to parry him. So that's the only little bit annoying thing. And of course I didn't want him to get his full special attack, but I went in the end, and then luckily enough he didn't actually use it. I got quite lucky in this run for the guide, and a lot of the champions that I went up against, even when they had their full special attack bar, special attack 3 ready and up and roaring, they for some reason didn't want to use it. I know Yellow Jacket is really useful in tricking the AI into not using the attack, because if you've got a duped Yellow Jacket and then you put Power Sting on and they've got, some either their level 2 ready or their level 3 ready, generally most of the time the AI won't use the attack because it knows it's going to get hit. Not get hit, my bad. It's going to take some damage. So that sort of gives you a little bit of leeway for you to work with. So that is that. So yeah, we're on match 50. No, I think we're on match 13, I believe. Yeah, then we got one more after, which is the Doctor Strange. Fortunately, after match 15, it does get a little bit easier, as you'll see in the video. After match 15 for matches 16 and 17, I believe. No, for match 15 and for match 16. No, I'm getting my math confused. I think. No, I think I'm right. For matches 15 through to 17, that works. Yeah, because you win match 15, it goes up to 16. Win match 16, goes up to 17. Yeah, that's right. I'm getting myself a little bit confused. But after that, it does get a little bit easier. You'll see in the video that I think this is a really close one. Actually, I got by with like little health. Look at that. That was pretty crazy. But after that, after using your 440s, you can go straight to using your 330s, and you will get some easy opponents, as you'll be able to see. And then after that, for me, for different people, that varies as well. I mean, it literally is just to see, what sort of method works for you the most. For me, I can use my 440s mixed with 330s to get me up to match 15, and from match 15 to match 17, I use my 330s, and then from then on, I can use my 3 stars, and it works absolutely fine. I don't get any problems. I don't get any really, really hard champions or really hard teams to fight. So I think it just works based on what your PI is. So if you've got, not that good at masteries or whatever, then you can try and sort them all around, because then at the end of the day, ranking up your champions and improving your masteries will improve the PI of your champions, which in turn will give you more points in the arena as well. So that is really, really crucial if you want to try and maximize as much as points as possible. I can't get my words out today. It's absolutely ridiculous. But you can see here, this is now just me using 330s. I've got Captain Marvel, Winter Soldier, and I believe Magneto. Yep. So the teams that I went up with were fairly easy. They weren't too bad. I had no problem taking them down at all. I think I got a perfect series in this, and I think I get another perfect series in the other one. Actually, in that fight, I went up against a 3-star Colossus. So it's not, actually terrible. It's not the end of the world. And the same as this one, there's another 3-star champion in there, the Deadpool X-Force, for which my War Machine just destroyed. Absolutely just destroyed. It was just pretty easy. So after this mission, what am I even talking about? After this match, excuse me, you can then go into using your 3 stars. So I think I do showcase a video of me using 3 stars just to show you that it's now working. And then my advice to you would to then be just carry on using the rest of your 3 stars, and once they're done, go back to using either your 440s for your 550s, and then just work your way back down again. You see here I'm just using my 3 stars, and I think I've got an easy, but I think they're only like rank 110s or rank 220s or 4 stars, so I think they're pretty easy. My Captain America, World War II, Electra, just no problem at all, even if she's got her special attack on. Captain America World War II is just an absolute beast, so it's nothing really to worry about. So as you can see, this infinite streak for me works pretty well, and I really hope that it works for you too. If I did talk too fast throughout the video, or if you did miss a bit, then don't worry. I will be putting a very detailed description below in the video. What I will do is I'll list what my strategies are, you know, match 1 to 5, I'll use these champions, and so on and so on. And then if you want to go to any part of the video as well, then I will also be doing some timestamps for them videos as to what sections go. I know the video goes pretty quick, so it might be a little bit hard just to see, but here all I've done is just done another team, and then obviously now I'm facing another easy team. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully this has shed some light, and I will see you all in the next video. So take care, have a wonderful day, and bye bye.